folks, how's it going? Well, I did want to record this week's video outside in the park, and I did go for a walk. I'll run some of that video, but it was just so noisy. There was no way I would be able to do it. There was construction on the railway trestle that runs over the park. There was planes, trains, and automobiles noise. There's so many people. It just wouldn't have been possible. I tried so many different areas of the park. It was actually kind of stressful just wandering through the woods trying to find a place to sit and have a conversation with my camera. But I did get 6 kilometers in today, just trying to find a place to sit. So I just wanted to talk about my upcoming trip and my fundraiser for Ontario Nature. So far, I have had a lot of support. I've had quite a few donations come in, and I thank you so much to everybody who has contributed so far. It's off to a really good start, and I am so grateful to everybody, and thank you so much for the good response that I have had. Everyone seems really enthusiastic about my fundraiser and what I'm going to be doing for Ontario Nature. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about Ontario Nature first, because why am I raising funds for them while I'm out backpacking? And I mentioned before, since Doug Ford's government has taken office of 3 years ago now, I think, they have made so many cuts to environmental protections and endangered species programs, and they're trying to bulldoze farmland and green space and wetlands. It's crazy. So we need to help Ontario Nature help Ontario Nature. I did get an update on one thing that Ontario Nature and other environmental programs in the country and the province have been fighting Doug Ford against, was Highway 413. It's a highway that is not needed, and he was trying to push it through without doing any environmental assessment. None. It's going through natural green space, and it's going through prime farmland as well. What food are we going to eat, Doug, if you plow over all the farmland and put highways through, highways that nobody needs? Really, nobody needs them. It's money just going out the window, and it's plowing over green space. We need the green space. We don't need another highway. So we have stopped that for now, and he has acquiesced to having an environmental assessment. See, it works. So Ontario Nature, let me just tell you a little bit about them. Ontario Nature is a conservation organization that protects wild species and spaces through conservation, education, and public engagement. They're a registered charity since it was established as the Federation of Ontario Naturalists in 1931, and my father used to be a member of Ontario Naturalists. Ontario Nature has been a champion for nature. Our vision is simple: in Ontario, where nature inspires and sustains us for generations to come. So what I want to do with my fundraiser and with my backpacking trip is to bring awareness to people, not just here in Ontario, but wherever you are watching these videos from. My trip is going to be happening at the end of September, so of course I have a few months still to get more awareness and to get ready for my trip, because honest to goodness, the other day I was sitting here and I was like, oh my God, what have I done? It's a little daunting. Let me just have a sip of tea. Let me show you the map and my plan of what I'm doing while I'm backpacking for 2 weeks. So here's my planning book. And so far, this is the only map that I have. I need to order the proper trail map, and I will be doing that sometime soon. Okay, so my plan is to visit each and every camp cluster in the park in numerical order. So there are 13 campsites, and so that is a perfect 2-week vacation. So the first one, number 1 over here, this is day 1 is going to be my longest day. So the parking lot is over here, and from my my string, the thing that I figured it out, it's about 13 or 14 kilometers up here to 1. So then the first night I will camp over here, and then day 2 I will come back here to site number 2, and then so on and so forth. So site number 3 is on day 3. On my way to site number 3, I'll be passing through the Big Salmon parking lot. So I may figure out how to do a resupply on that day on my way to site number 3, which is just up here. So then, of course, on to 4 and 5 and 6. So there's the plan, and I have my reservations all set out, all the campsites in numerical order. I'm very, very excited. I'm also a little bit nervous because I've never done anything like this before. I'm not a thru hiker. I've never done any of the long trails in Ontario. A couple or 3 or 4 years ago, I don't even remember when it was, I did a 5-day backpacking trip in Bon Echo Provincial Park, which is, but it was just an out and back. The trail there is just, it's a short loop. You can do it in a day. But I was having quite a stressful point in my life. I just needed to get away from people. So I just went in and I pitched my tent and I stayed there for 5 days. I just sat in that spot for 5 days just to recharge. Getting out in nature for me is how I recharge. So this trip in Frontenac is going to be a challenge. So I've never done any like hike in and then camp and then pack it all up and hike to another site the next day. I've never done a 2-week trip. The majority of the time for this trip, I think I'm pretty much going to be solo. Anyone, I have invited friends to come along. Anyone who wants to do a resupply for me. Anyone is welcome to join me for a day hike or an overnight. You just have to make sure to register with the camp office and pay the overnight fees. So the physical challenge for this is going to be, I don't know if I can do it. I'm pretty sure I can, because I mean I walk a lot of kilometers most every day anyway, just not usually with 30-pound backpack on. And so I've never done anything like this, and during that 2 weeks I won't have any opportunity for a 0 day. There's no opportunity for that. I have 2 weeks vacation time with work, and so I am using up that whole 2 weeks vacation time for this trip. So no zeros. I do have a couple of Neros, I'm going to call them, because it's only like 4 kilometers from one site to the next. So it's only going to be an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on terrain. So then mostly I'm just going to be sitting those days. So they're Neros, but I won't have any 0 days. Hopefully I have, some good weather. I know it's going to be, because it's end of September, very, very few bugs. Shouldn't be too rainy, shouldn't be too cold. We can hope. So this is why I'm supporting Ontario Nature, because I really feel that it is an amazing an amazing organization. They do a lot of good work. I also feel very strongly about protections for endangered and listed species. And he has taken away protections from endangered species in Ontario, and some of these are, migratory birds. So if we have no protections for them here in Ontario, then the people that are at the kind of other end of the migration line for these birds, they should be pissed off as well, not just people here in Ontario, because they summer here in Ontario, but then they winter down south. So like, if we're not protecting them up here, then populations are going to be dwindling down south as well, because this is where they come to nest, and then they fly south. Other animals that are endangered, like turtles and snakes and a whole bunch of things off the top of my head I can't remember right now. But I also plan, while I'm in the park, to try and find each one of these animals or birds or reptiles, depending on the season. Like, are they going to be there? It's toward the end of the kind of getting into later in the fall, so I'm not sure if the migratory birds should still be there, but I'm not sure about the other animals, if they'll be in that territory or not. But I will be looking for them, and I will be highlighting them over the next few months. I'll pick one of the animals that's on the list for that particular area, and I'll tell you a little bit about them, and if I'll be able to find them while I'm hiking in the park. Fingers crossed, because I'm really excited. One of the animals that's on the list, birds that's on the list, is the American bald eagle. And I have seen them in Canada before, but when I was visiting in the mountains in British Columbia, I don't think I've ever seen a bald eagle except for a captive one in Ontario. So it'll be very interesting if I can find a bald eagle while I'm out backpacking for 2 weeks. You spend more time in the woods and you're going to notice more things, right? I'll be looking for the birds and the animals and the reptiles who are on the endangered or protected list that are no longer being protected by Doug Ford. So I thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, comment below any words of encouragement that you can offer, because really I am on and off excited and in panic mode about doing this 2 weeks in the woods. It sounds really painful. Just walking all that distance every day. I know I can do it. I am very confident that I can do it. Some days it's just really daunting. I also have a whole bunch of other things that are going on right now. I have to move. I have to sell my condo and I have to move. So that's going on, and that's going to be my summer. When the stay-at-home orders are lifted, and again they're grumbling of extending them past May 20th, I need to do some training, like multiple night hiking and backpacking to do some training, and I can't do that right now because we're not allowed to go camping and all the parks are closed, even Crown Land. So anyway, that's me in a nutshell. That's a big frickin' nut, isn't it? I'm a big frickin' nut. Again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Check out the link below in the description for my fundraiser. I'll also link information about Ontario Nature and the endangered species list of the animals that are in the Frontenac area where I will be backpacking. See you next time. I keep forgetting to tell you guys, I'm now on Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I've only been there, I think a week or something, so there's not too much there yet, but I'm musing with Reba on Instagram. Go check me out.